Hey, what's up branding experts, Arek here at Big Design, and in this video I'm gonna teach you brand strategy in just 10 minutes. Hey Siri, set timer for 10 minutes.
10 minutes, starting now.
Here is my framework that I use with my clients. So basically, brand strategy is divided into 3 sections: brand core, brand positioning, and brand persona. And each section consists of 3 exercises. So like for example, under brand core, we have brand purpose, vision, and values. So we're gonna talk about each of those 9 exercises. But first, let's get on the same page and define what brand strategy actually is. So it's a long-term plan for the development of a successful brand in order to achieve specific business goals. Now, your strategy is not the logo or tagline. That's an afterthought. So first, you need to develop your strategy, and it could be just one page with those fundamental statements like brand purpose and so on. And then based on that, you design the visuals, you design the logo, you choose the colors, you create a tagline, so visual and verbal identity, right? And again, your strategy could be written on just one page. But first, you need to run different exercises. The way you can run them is you can either run in-person workshop or you can run an online workshop via Zoom, for example. So the way I design those exercises is that, it's easy to use them on a whiteboard, or you can use my fillable PDFs, and I have those worksheets in different file formats, so it's really easy to use. And you can, of course, print them out and just fill them out with pen and paper. So again, my worksheets come in different file formats, so there is no excuse for you to not run the strategy, right? So now let's talk about the brand strategy framework, right? So again, this is the framework, and this is the ultimate outcome, is your brand strategy written on one page. But in order to arrive on those statements and those short descriptions, you need to run each of those exercises separately. So that's how it looks like. And the outcome would be that statement, like brand purpose statement, brand vision, and so on. So let's start with the first one, right? Brand purpose. That's the first exercise in the framework. So basically here you need to find the purpose behind what you do beyond just making money, right? So here's an overview of the exercise. So you go through those steps. But what is brand purpose? So basically, why does your company exist? Why do you get out of bed every morning, and why should anyone care? Your purpose is the foundation of your marketing. Here are a few examples of great brand purpose statements. Probably the best one is Tesla, to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy, right? And so you can find more of these statements on my blog. Let's now give you an overview of the brand vision, which is the second exercise. So brand vision is about having clarity of where you are going, where you are heading, in what direction. So again, here is an overview of the exercise. So a vision statement is basically a vivid, idealized description of a desired outcome that inspires, energizes, and helps you create a mental picture of your target, right? And a best example of that would probably be SpaceX, to change the course of human civilization to become a multi-planet species. And we can hear Elon Musk talks about that in basically every interview. The third exercise is about brand values. So here you need to create some values or philosophies that will guide your business, right? So again, here is an overview of the exercise. But core values are not just a list of nice sounding words on a page, right? They're guiding principles that define actually how the company operates, how it behaves and makes decisions. So again, here are some of the examples, and probably the most original or interesting one is YouTube, which is all about freedom, right? Freedom of expression, freedom of information, freedom of opportunity, freedom to belong. Okay, so now we have target audience, which is the next exercise in the second section, right? So sometimes we take breaks between these sections. So you need to know your target audience, the demographics and psychographics, in order to be able to resonate with them, right? So here is an overview of my exercise. But basically, the more specific you get with your audience, the better you will be able to connect with them on an emotional level, and they will be willing to invest in your product or service, right? So here's an example. This is my example from my client. It's a clear description of, target audience: general physicians who have a high patient demand and require more therapeutic options. Here is more description. Here is another example for Parity: digital business leaders who demand insights and truths about their constituents' decisions and dreams. Now, the next exercise is about market analysis. So here you just find where are the opportunities in the market and how you can position your brand among competitors. So you basically plot those competitors on this grid and you find the difference and the unique benefit that you give to your customers. So positioning is not what you do to a product. Positioning is what you do to the mind of the prospect. So it's the process of defining how you want to be perceived in relation to your competition, right? This is what I was talking about earlier. And those statements are a bit longer than brand vision and brand purpose. Those things are also related to each other. So as you can see, they start with their customer, right? So for consumers who want to purchase a wide range of products online with quick delivery, Amazon provides this and this is how we are different, and this is our benefit, and so on. So here we have some of the statements. Now the next exercise is awareness goals, and this is quite a bit different. Is just about thinking about how you're gonna get attention, how you're gonna bring awareness to your brand, right? So here is my exercise. Awareness is basically the first step in the customer's journey to purchase, right? And we need to figure those out, and then you can dive deeper and think about the whole funnel. But the way I do it is just I define the scope of work. So for example, do you need a presentation deck, social media presence, website, and so on, other marketing materials? So that way we get clarity on what elements need to be designed. Now, brand personality is the next exercise. First, in the last section, brand persona. So you just need to define your personality, and the best way to do that is to use archetypes, right? Archetypes are universal patterns of human behavior that are deeply ingrained in our psyche, and they are just basically make the foundation of brand personality, and they help us connect with our audience on a deeper level. So a great example of that would be probably Harley Davidson. They use the auto archetype, right? It's all about the freedom, breaking the rules, being a rebel, and so on. So they convey that archetype in messaging. As you can see, this kind of a rugged style, bold font, freedom for all, grab life by the bars. So as you can see, perfect example. Now, tone of voice, and again, those things are related. So tone of voice is like an extension of personality. So you basically want to project a compelling voice for your brand. So here is the exercise, here is an overview. So you just want to find the extremes. So your brand voice is the personality, tone, and language that you use when communicating with your customers. So it should reflect your brand values and be consistent across all channels. So as you can see, those things are related. And a great example of that would be MailChimp with its tone of voice, which is straightforward, but with a bit of dry humor, as you can see here. Get on top of your emails. Right? Another example would be Starbucks. They have a very simple and functional tone of voice. As you can see here, that first sip feeling, matcha 3 ways, very short, no navigational, functional. Okay, so the last exercise is about developing a tagline or slogan option. So you just need to summarize your brand story to a few words. So here is an overview of the exercise. But basically, your tagline or slogan is the single most important expression of your brand and should be as memorable and powerful as possible, and should stick with your customers forever. And here are some of the best examples of brand slogans or taglines. Just do it, think different, I'm loving it. We all know these slogans, so they definitely make for a good example. Some conclusions. Oh, okay. Perfect. So there you go. Here is my brand strategy framework with an overview of those 9 exercises. So if you want to build a strong brand, you need to get everyone on the same page, or partners, key team members, and define those different elements of brand strategy to get clarity on how to build and maintain a strong brand. And by the way, you can learn more by checking out my free guide on my blog, where I go and describe in detail each of those exercises and how to run them. And there you have also more information and my templates on Miro and so on. But if you want to fast forward your learning, you can check out my premium guide, and there are exact scripts available there and templates in different file formats and more additional resources. Did you learn something new today? Was I able to teach you something in those 10 minutes? Leave a comment below. And by the way, I also prepared for you a playlist with my videos about brand strategies, so check them out on the left. And don't forget to subscribe for more tips on branding, strategy, and design. This was Arek from Design. Now I will see you in the next video.